The
Yes,
Australian
let me
Open
hear.
is on. Let's start with Nadal. That's the big one, talking about the defending champion.
Yep.
I said earlier, he's now into the second round, courtesy of a 4-set win over Draper. And for Nadal, yes, the tune-up events to this tournament has not been good in terms of form, but quite understandable. He became a father a few months back,
Yeah.
had to battle with injury, is into the second round. What do you make of his performance?
Well, it's never a bad start, to start by winning your first game, particularly when he took break from the last. He's taking break for some time now, so
exactly.
It's only a matter of time he has to, put himself in line as far as this competition is concerned. You rightly said he's defending champion. He has 2 Grand Slam ahead of, Djokovic, who is returning, after the controversy of the last time.
one.
And as I said, he has 2 Grand Slam over Djokovic, and so you feel that if manages to win this, the next is the French Open, which is a cup of tea. He's won all but 2 or 3 of the last 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, and so he will do everything possible just to win this, extend his lead over Djokovic, and of course try to consolidate with the French Open.
Okay, talking about that 7-5, 2-6, 6-4, 6-1 that ended in favor of Nadal over Draper, and we talked about Nadal. It's a 6th to 7th Grand Slam appearance. Remember, he had lost 6 of the last 7 matches going into this, so it's good to see him win once again. Well, in the women's category, you had Imara Raducanu, British #1, also progressing, and that's a good news for British fans because 11 days ago she was battling with an ankle injury that, in fact, saw her withdraw from the Adelaide Classic. But this time around, it was a straight sets victory, 6-3, 6-2 over Tamara Kopacz, and she next takes on American superstar Coco Gauff. Raducanu, ever since she won the US Open, in 2021, her career has been derailed with several injuries. It was a big doubt if she was even going to participate in this one, but it's good to see her get another win and move into the second round. Coco Gauff will be difficult.
Yeah, you can say that again. Of course, it would be, a clash of the titans because Coco Gauff also packed a lot of punches,
Exactly.
the fact that she's a teenager, she's someone who is also promising. Now, the thing with the women category is the WTA is that there isn't a recognized dominant person. And which means that they all have a shout. And so you struggle to see anyone who will take the reins, since Serena, retired.
Maybe Gasquet world #1. She dominated last year, though.
Yeah, won a couple of Grand Slams, but if the last 5-6 years is anything to go by, we haven't seen exactly that. So this is another fresh start for every one of them to stake a claim.
And I know with Raducanu it's a long shot, but Swiatek dominated 2 Grand Slams last year, 7 titles overall. At some point, she had that 37 match winning streak. You think she can get it going again this year?
Yeah, the pressure is on her. Of course, she's world #1 for a reason because she's the most dominant at the moment. But that pressure, is what brings out the champion in you.
Yes.
If you break, of course, it questions your, your ability and your mentality. But she has everything going for her. She's the best at the moment. You look at it from her style of play, from her consistency, and the fact that others are not exactly pulling her weight. So she goes ahead to win another 2, Grand Slam this year, or make it 3 out of the 4. Then, of course, she might start chasing Serena's record. I don't see that happening anyway.
Not anytime soon, though.
I don't see that happening.
Well, let's still talk about the Australian Open, and this time we will be bringing you a comprehensive breakdown of the prize money. Remember, this year's edition is definitely packing a lot of money, so many lots of monies for players and those alike. So, well, let's start talking about AO, which is what Australian Open is known as. You know quite well that I began today, 16th, and will run until the 29th of January. Now, for the prize money, we have a total of 76.5 million Australian dollars, which is an equivalent of 53 million US dollars. It is the largest payday in the world of tennis, apart from last year's US Open. We know quite well that US Open pays more than any Grand Slam. Well, for the singles champion this year, the winner will be going on with 2.97 million Australian dollars, an equivalent of 2.06 million US dollars. Lots of money for whoever emerges as the champion. The very best of basketball, they're talking about LeBron James and the Lakers. It was another shortfall for them, just a point difference between Philadelphia 76ers and the Los Angeles Lakers, 113 to 112 points. That ended in favor of the 76ers over the Lakers. And what a showing it was for LeBron James. He became the second man ever in the history of basketball to record 38 plus points. Did I say 38? Sorry, 38,000 plus points in the history of the game. 35 points showing, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. Another, level of greatness, especially from a 20-year veteran like LeBron James. who will be 39 later this year. Well, for the Philadelphia 76ers, you know quite well that it was Joel Embiid who top scored for them with 35 points. Also had 11 rebounds, not forgetting James Harden with 24 points and 13 assists in there, you know, to go with it. For Lakers, Russell Westbrook was also able to contribute his own quota, scoring 20 points, amassing 14 rebounds, and dishing out 11 assists, even as the Lakers, you know, succumbed to yet another defeat. After that 5-match winning streak, they've now lost their last 3 games, and they'll be hoping for the likes of Anthony Davis, Lonnie Walker the fourth, Patrick Beverley, not forgetting Austin Reeves, to make a quick return to the starting lineup. The injury was as forced Darwin Ham to rotate his lineup, and he made use of his 24th different lineup in 43 games at the wee hours of today. It's a good time to be a Gunner, no doubt about it. Larry Ahosa is still here with me. Larry, quick one. Yeah. It seems Arsenal can do no wrong now. The Derby win was a statement, 8 points clear. And you look at the difference between this team and that of the Invincible. This is a better team, no doubt about it, in terms of points as well as, you know, the goals scored and all of that. Although that those who tell you, oh, that was Invincible, these ones have suffered. But let me just quickly run through, you know, a start, and then I get your thoughts. Right. 18 matches played, you know, as at this season in terms of both teams. After 18 matches, I'm just reading out the stats. The Invincible team won 12. While this current team has won 15. The Invisible team drew 6. Mikel Arteta's team drew twice. We know the Invisible team were unbeaten. This team has lost 1. The Invisible team, after 18 games, scored 34 points. This has scored 42, and they considered 12, while this present team has, you know, considered 14. So the Invisible team, after 18 games, had 42 points. Yeah. This Arsenal team has 47. No doubt about it, this has to be, you know, the best team after 18 games. Yeah,
you can say that. That was a whooping 19 years ago. Yes. And if you are told Arsenal fans that while they were lifting the trophies, you know, becoming the first team in the Premier League era to be unbeaten, that they will probably have to go 2 decades, you know, before winning another big title, they will disagree. The stars obviously favoring this team over that team, but if they have the chance now, they will choose that team over this. You know why? Because that has guaranteed them a trophy, a golden trophy for that matter. This is still a means to an end. They started really well, about their best start in over a decade, and they have everything going for them. Not just the fact that they are winning, but the fact that their opponents are also floundering.
Exactly. Well, Manchester United earned the famous win over Manchester City, 2-1, but that was overshadowed by the offside rule and the controversy. Did Rashford interfere with play? Did he touch the ball? Okay, he didn't touch it, but he didn't interfere and all of that. Larry, I need to get your thoughts. We're not going to delve into the stats. We know Rashford 9 goals, and then since Dennis Viola in 1959, no one has scored 9 successive times at Old Trafford since 1959. So the man is on a roll. But beyond all of those stats, let's look at the controversy. Should that goal have stood? Did Rashford interfere with play? Because it was just a breath away from touching and he followed the ball all through.
Well, credit to Rashford for that kind of, you know, initiative. Having said that, I thought it should have been ruled out because it's obviously it's an offside. If I throw my hands towards you like this, like I'm going to hit you, the tendency for you to take your head back, you know, is there. If you hit your head against the wall, it doesn't matter whether I actually touched you or not. What I did made you react, and I caused it as well. So obviously, if Rashford did not follow the ball the way he did, it would have given a different complexion from the game. The defenders would have known that it's them against Bruno Fernandes. But the fact that he accompanied that ball to that extent with the closeness ensured that he interfered. It should have been ruled out.
Okay. Well, a team that is not doing better and should do better than this is Liverpool. 3-0 at Brighton. Well, that's not the story. Pressure is now mounting on Jurgen Klopp, and the question is, should Jurgen Klopp be sacked? Is he the cause of Liverpool's woes this season? We know quite well that certain players have, you know, had their fair share of injuries, from Luis Diaz to Jota. You can go on and on. Chamberlain just made a return and all of that. But quickly, is Klopp the problem, or the players are not just stepping up, or the injury woes are also affecting them like Chelsea?
It's a bit of everything, but I don't think the major problem is Klopp. It's done really well for them. Won the Premier League, won the Champions League.
Everything.
Yeah, they had injury like this when they were champions in 1920 season, and he clawed his way back to still finish third. I think it's shown us in the last 7.5 years that is the best manager that they can have. However, I think the board need to do a lot better in backing them. Then, of course, the physios also need to do better in terms of injuries.